The more light, the better. All right, welcome to our Tuesday night Grow Family Call. Hey, I don't think that there's anybody in here who it's their first time, but if it is your first time watching us, we want to extend a very warm welcome to you. There's, how do they always say? There's a few nuts in every family, and so you'll just get your view tonight. We love our Grow team culture. I always talk about us as our Grow family because I very much feel that way. Always love connecting with you guys and talking with you. I hope that you are excited. Does anybody have anything that they are excited about right now? Like, it doesn't even have to be Plexus related. Is anybody like excited, or are we just dragging ourselves to Christmas? Anybody excited about anything? Chelsea's raising the roof. What, baby sleeping? Is that what we're excited about tonight? Awesome. I'm excited about the retreat or the non-event event. Yes, Sherry's saying the same thing. I'm excited about our non-event event that is happening in Saskatoon. Thank you all for registering. If you didn't get around to registering, we might have one more spot. Yeah, I don't know, that's getting kind of dicey. So something, I was just listening to a video tonight and it just reminded me that so much of this business is connection with people. So much of this is doing this, like what we're doing right now, only like face to face, cheek to cheek, pick a cheek. And just sitting down and talking and sharing each other's lives. And so first of all, I want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to share in a piece of your life, because I don't take that lightly. That is a pleasure for me to get to be part of your lives. When people invite us into their lives to walk with them, it is an incredible blessing, like an incredible blessing. So I hope that you view your team or your sidelines like that, because that's the difference in Plexus, is the whole concept of One Plexus, the idea that we are not just selling rocks to friends and leaving them with their rocks, right? We offer the chance to walk with people, walk hand in hand with them. So I'm excited about the non-event that we actually get to see each other. And it's been too long. It's been way too long. Sherry and I were just talking the other day and I'm like, I am so glad that I did that last event in Swift Current. And then I popped over to Medicine Hat like really quick. And it was tongue in cheek. We didn't know if we were going to have to shut it down. And I was supposed to go to Saskatoon the next weekend. And that was it, right? So always seize the day. Nicole is saying, my son is finally having some good days at school. Yes, that's amazing. Yes, that is such a great thing. Totally, totally, totally. I would say I'm celebrating my dog not peeing on the carpet, but that's just not today. I'll preemptively celebrate it for tomorrow. Does that work? Awesome. Hey, guys, I'm super excited about the incentives for this month. Have you seen them? Have you guys seen the new incentives for this month? They're a little different, but what gets me super excited is that we still have $9.95 signups. Put a 1 in the comments. Put a 1 in the comments if you are super excited that they have not raised the price back up to regular ambassador membership pricing and they've kept it at $9.95. Do you guys even realize what an amazing deal this is for us? Like, the Americans are still paying $9.95, but we get it for $9.95. So that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Canada is so very much in momentum right now. And so to have this is just fantastic. The other really great thing is they did change up that stackable incentive because I think it was sort of starting to fall on deaf ears. It's sort of like when if you gave your kids chocolate cake every day and you're like, but it's chocolate cake and it's still really, really good. It's delicious, right? they might start to like kind of forget about the chocolate cake and they might stop eating it and whatever, which would be great for the dental bills and for their gut health, but you still want them to eat the chocolate cake. So anyway, Plexus has changed the incentives, but I think people are missing what this actually means for your new joins. So I want to make sure I'm putting this across to you. And I heard this said the other day. You're going to want to write this down if you didn't hear it. Guys, guess what we're calling it? So you know that when you sponsor somebody, you get $25 extra this month, right? You know that? Like you get your business building bonus of $20 US and you get paid on your points, approximately $15, right? But you also get another bonus of $25 when you sponsor one person. So guess what Brooke Hemingway called it? A buddy bonus. A buddy bonus of $60. A buddy bonus of $60 US. What is a buddy bonus of $60 US in Canadian? It's $78. It's almost 80 bucks, you guys. 60 times 1.3, Sherry's got a face on. 78. I did it on my calculator. I ain't no fool. Carrie's got a face too. What did I do? No, she's just facing somebody else. Okay, it's all good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong. I count on these eyebrows. So just watch your eyebrows. Isn't that amazing? Couldn't you, like, when they were talking about this yesterday, she was like, you know what? Everyone is going to want the cup. Now, I can't believe I don't even have my cup by me. You guys know what cup it is, right? You guys, like, it's a double walled, it's my, if you ever see any of my stories and I'm holding a cup and it says Emerald Extravaganza on it, it's that cup, only it's not going to say Emerald Extravaganza on it, but it's a, I don't even know how to, Teva or something like that. And it's a double walled cup and it doesn't sweat and it's amazing, like absolutely amazing. I put a straw in mine because I can't drink it without slopping all over myself, but you put a straw in it and it's really fantastic. So that is when you get 3. And when you sponsor 6, you're getting the NutriBullet. How exciting is that? So when you sponsor 6 people, because y'all are going to want that blender, right? The branded blender. You guys remember when the BlendJets were like the thing? And everyone's like, I need a BlendJet. Like, I need a BlendJet in my life. And then we all got them. We're like, they're really small. But I mean, they're cool, but they're small. So they're great for mixing like your slim and your active, or your collagen and your slim if you are crazy like that. But if you want to shake, you want some more juice behind there. So you're going to want to get that, right? So you have your, you sponsor one, you get $25. So that's actually 78, right? And then you have 3 and you get, you get your business building bonuses for everybody, right? $20 for every person. And then you get paid on your points, which is approximately $15. This is all in USD. So every person is about $35 US. And then you get your cup at 3 and you get the blender at 6. So then when you're doing your 6, because everyone's going to want to do 6 and get the blender if you're like me, because I totally want that blender, you're going to want to tell all those people about the buddy bonus, right? Hey, Plexus has a special buddy bonus going on this month. And I know that it's way easier for me to stay accountable to somebody else. So do you know anybody that we could talk to? Like, could we hop on FaceTime? Could I like drop a sample to, or anything like that? Yeah, like, hello, amazing. Buddy bonus. Debbie's saying, so do you get all 3 if you do 6? Yes. So you get for the one, like, it's stackable, right? They don't take anything away. Plexus isn't like that. They wouldn't do you wrong. Let me tell you. But then, so you get these people with the buddy bonus and maybe they're like, hey, but I want a cup. Okay, cool. Like, let's grab 2 more people. And it's incredible when you start looking at mapping out your month and your goals when you start breaking it down. Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit tonight about where everyone's at, about laying the right foundation for our month, because we're still at the beginning, you guys. It's barely begun, right? How many people wish that September could like just get sucked into a black hole? Anybody? Or anybody feel like it did? Yeah. Anybody have things that they kind of left on the table that didn't get done, or you started with really good intentions at the beginning of September, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went, you sort of let the balloon go and it was all over your kitchen, right? We are in the last 90 days, you guys. And guess what's cool about the last 90 days with Plexus? I'd love to know what you think is cool about the last 90 days with Plexus. I'd love to know that in the comments, especially some of our, Nikki's like, yeah, let my balloon go. Yeah, girl, I'm with you. Yeah. Don't let it go again this month. Tie that sucker real tight. And you know what you do with a 3-year-old who wants a balloon, right? You stick that on their arm. So that's what you're going to do with your balloon this month. You are going to tie that sucker on their wrist. So when you want to take it off, you got to cut it off. Hold the balloon. What's cool about the last 90 days? Last 90 days. Number one, we don't actually have a slow season, which is super cool. It typically in our history, Canada, which is cool. I talked to Ryan Flatt about this. He's like, I don't get what it is with Americans, but Canadians, they work through December. It's amazing. It's like Americans kind of are like, yeah, no, I'm good. It's like after Thanksgiving, they just sort of stop. He's like, my Canadians are not like that at all. And I'm like, darn tootin'. And so we can't like let him down again. We need to be like, hey, Ryan, I got some Canadians that are like just raring to go in December, right? That's cool. But here's what's really cool about the last 90 days from right now to the end of the year and Plexus. Plexus is a 60 to 90 day out business. Yes, you could talk to somebody today and get them to sign up tomorrow. Absolutely. We have tons of those people. That happens, right? But the seeds that you sow today, the work that you do today in October, guess where you're going to start seeing that? In December and in January. And guess what's going to happen when everyone starts thinking about those January goals that they want to hit, right? They're going to remember. Here's the question. Are they going to remember you and Plexus? Or is that not even going to be on their radar because you didn't show up for that 60 to 90 days ahead? Here's the other cool thing. I don't believe that people are waiting for January 1st to start their goals all over again. I don't believe that for a second for 2020. I think people are tired of where they're at and they're ready for change in their lives and like real change. So we have the opportunity to speak into these people. And I am just like, I'm here for it, you guys. I am so here for it. So I'm actually going to call on Sherry to do some sharing. We were talking earlier today, and she's going to bring some brilliance to us. And Sherry, I'm letting you go first because like right now we've got 45 minutes. So you're going to talk as long as you want to talk. And then I've got my notes, and we can get to that at some point in time, or that can be left for another day.
This is not going to be 45 minutes. You might even just need to ask me questions.
Well, I did say we were going to give you a Q&A time at the end. I did. I was good, and I gave her a time period. So I've actually asked her to maybe step outside her comfort zone a little bit. And she is going to tell us at the beginning, and I'm not going to let you off the hook on this one. She's going to, first of all, tell us what her rank is, how long she's been doing Plexus. And then she's also going to tell us the other hats that she wears. Go ahead, Sherry. Take it away.
We'll start with that.
Okay.
So my rank is Ruby. And I've started Plexus 3.5 years ago. And the other hats I wear, well, my other hats are kind of interesting. So we farm and ranch with my husband's brother. So I do all the bookkeeping for 2 companies. Um, and we have staff, so that includes payrolls. And if anybody knows much about farming or ranching, it includes the running to the field or parts, whatever. There's the list changes day by day, sometimes moment by moment. In addition to that, most of today actually was spent working on some virtual educational pieces. Because I'm involved with the beef industry, that means that I do beef education throughout the province. And historically, it's been in person in various locations. And of course, 2020 has made that all look different. So at the moment, we are working on developing some virtual programming that will be delivered at Agribition through the Agribition site and through Saskatoon, through Ag Experience, some of the different locations. So we're working to do some development of activity programs for students that will offer them some things that will provide them with additional learning in terms of the beef industry. So yeah, so that's what today looked like. As you probably know, if you've watched any of my Facebook social media things, when COVID came along and I realized that travel was going to change a lot in terms of these educational pieces, I talked and thought about what it could look like after COVID. So was it just going to be a period of time where I looked the same after COVID? Or was it going to be a period of time with an opportunity to say things could be different? I could grow. And I love learning. So for many, many years, I've been interested in John Maxwell and his training. And so since end of March, my daughter and I invested in the John Maxwell team training program. And the end of August became certified as John Maxwell coach, speaker, trainers. And that has led to some interesting opportunities in terms of offering masterminds and coaching and speaking. And yeah, so that's a few of the hats, sort of just as an update.
So not many things in your day-to-day, just
depends on the day. Depends on the day.
So the reason I wanted Sherry to say this is because we have so many people who are now, like, we're expanding our team, and not everybody knows Sherry as well as some of us do. And, you know, perhaps you could be tempted to assume that maybe she's slowing down. Maybe her life is getting less full. And so she has all the time in the world to work Plexus or to go for coffee with Marie or, you know, whatever. And so I wanted her to really emphasize that she has a lot of responsibilities and how this translates into her business. Okay, thank you. I'm done now. Your turn.
So, so Janelle asked me to talk a little bit about freedom or flexibility. And I know in this business, we often hear some things about freedom and how working from home can offer freedom, how running your own business can offer freedom. And I guess I've also seen some posts more recently about, is it freedom or is it flexibility? And so I've been thinking a little bit about that. And I guess part of it is, what does freedom really mean? I mean, we live in a world where we are offered some incredible freedoms. I mean, we have a freedom to choose our mindset. We have a freedom to act. We have a freedom to try things and fail. We have a freedom to try them again and rebuild. We have freedoms of giving. We have an incredible number of freedoms in Canada, in the world we live in. We may feel COVID has taken away a few of those freedoms, but I really think it depends on what we mean by freedom. So when we start an entrepreneurial business and we think that we're creating freedom, what do we actually mean by that? So we can think about financial freedom. What does that mean? Does that mean we can go to the grocery store and buy groceries without thinking about or measuring the cost because we've got X many dollars to do it with? Or do we have flexibility? And I guess for me, it's more about flexibility, because for me, it's more about I can choose which times I work on which projects. I can choose if this hour I'm going to spend on my Plexus business, and if this hour I'm going to look after grandchildren, and if this hour over here I'm going to go and get groceries, or I'm going to go pick up parts, or I'm going to, and those hours aren't necessarily defined as the same hours each day. So for me, I think it's more about flexibility than it is about freedom. I feel I have freedom, and maybe I've been blessed because maybe there's people that don't feel they have freedom. I feel I've had an incredible amount of freedom in my life in terms of all of the things that matter, freedom to, yeah, all the things that matter. And I guess it would be interesting to hear what freedoms you think you're looking for that you don't have. So if anybody's got any, I'd love to see them in the chat, like freedoms that you're looking for. On the other hand, on the flexibility side, I did spend a while working an 8-to-5 job. And I have spent time limited by school hours when my kids had to be at school at 9, or at least the teachers said they had to be there at 9. They didn't get to leave until after 3. And being restricted by those limitations. I still had lots of flexibility, and I have more flexibility now. So I'm interested to hear, which do you think is more significant? Is it that freedom, or is it that flexibility? And for me, working my business is, my Plexus business is about the flexibility. Now, I love to learn. That's my jam. I mean, I could be part of webinars and learning things all day. On the other side, that freedom to act piece, yeah, that can be harder. For me, I definitely relate to that fear of sending a message because maybe there'll be a rejection, or that fear of what will somebody think of me. And so sometimes I don't make good use of my flexibility because I'm not in action. And I guess that's the piece that I'm really working on growing through. And I really relate to the concept of offering coffee. Because it's easy to offer somebody coffee. It's easy to offer something. But is it easy when somebody says, no, I don't want coffee now? Well, interestingly enough, I don't take that as a personal rejection. So why do I take it as a personal rejection if I offer them hope or a way to feel better or even information, and they say, no, I'm not interested now? Because it's not about me. And while I still have that feeling that I might be rejected, I think I'm still making it about me. And no, I haven't got past it yet. So if you've got some magic words for me, I'd love to hear them.
I actually do, but I want to hear everybody else's. Or if you just have a question for Sherry or something you'd like her to expound on or any of those things, I'd love to hear it.
I like Stacy's comment about with flexibility, you need to be more intentional about time management. I absolutely agree because it's so easy to not use time well. Absolutely.
Yeah, can I just pipe in there? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like with you, Sherry, you have so many different hats you're wearing, as do I. Like I'm right now in my extreme busy season of photography and editing, and I lead women's Bible studies, and my husband is away 50% of the time, so trying to single parent part of the time. So yeah, like I like the idea of how you said what we're doing allows much more flexibility. But my biggest struggle is I have to be very intentional. I have to be very intentional in saying, okay, Tuesdays, that's my editing day. I have nothing else on the calendar. I edit, but I always try to sneak in an hour, maybe lunch break to do some of that plexus, right? Tuesday nights, I know I try to be on these team calls, right? Like you have to be so much more because I am the type of person, I'm like, oh, squirrel. Yes, you want to go for coffee? Sure, let's go for coffee. Ooh, let's organize my pictures today. Like I'm editing and I'm like, ooh, I haven't organized, like I can just get so distracted. And so, yes, we have the freedom to be able to work from home. We have the freedom to be able to do those things like go for coffee and stuff if we want to. But I think it's important to remember to time block those things in. Time block in. If you're one that likes to go for coffee with friends, okay, time block Monday afternoon. This is my coffee time. Then put that on the calendar. And I think we've had that in different mastermind training too, right? Or different trainings of being very intentional about time blocking your day and putting those specific things in. So we have the freedom to maybe add in some of those things that someone working a 9-to-5 job doesn't. But yeah, I think we have the flexibility, but we have to be good at managing that time, I think.
Absolutely.
Well,
which I'm terrible at.
no, well,
So you say I'm growing in that area.
I'm growing in that.
And that's the other thing, Stacy. I think we all feel that we're not good at it because we all see ways we could improve.
Yeah.
And I think, like Janelle says, we have to recognize what we do well and appreciate how well we do at it.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking this morning. Sherry's leading a mastermind, and we were talking about, viewing other people's strengths, right? And sometimes like we were focusing on finding our strengths, finding their strengths, and, just really trying to encourage them. But then we can have that ugly monster of comparison that starts going in there like, oh, I'll never be as good as whatever. Guys, it just occurred to me this morning that oftentimes what we do is we look at somebody's best and strongest trait, and then we compare our weakest trait or weaker traits to that and go, I can never measure up to this. Whereas, they look at Stacy and they're like, my gosh, like I would love to be a photographer. You guys, I take the crappiest pictures ever. I've been praying that the Lord would gift one of my children in photography, because I'm like, I need this for my business, Lord. Could they not just be gifted in like finding a frame for something, whereas I'm not taking a picture of somebody's elbow, right? But I could look at her great gift and my lack in that one area, and all of a sudden I'm pulled down to nothing, right? But that's not it. Other people's gifts are supposed to inspire us and help us to encourage them, and then have us all work together to be a stronger unit, instead of pointing out where we are the weakest, right? Of course we can grow. I mean, I can ask Stacy and she'd be like, well, honey, you know what? If you'd like stand upright and take a photo from this angle, you might actually have a hope, right? But, like there's little things she can help me with. I can like grow a little bit, but yeah,
And there's where my comparison comes in, because I look at all your posts and I'm like, oh, she does such a good job. Like I don't spend time like I can take a picture of another family, but when it comes to posting, my Instagram feed is terrible.
And the funny thing is, right? Like, and that's exactly what we think. And then you'd go through my phone that has like 27 1,000 pictures because I never delete anything. And there's like 18 pictures to get one that works,
Yeah.
right? That like just, right. It's just so ridiculous. Anyway, time blocking is a major thing. Shannon said, good word, everyone. I'm learning I can't be everything to everyone, trying to prioritize my schedule. That is so true. We cannot be all things to all people. Absolutely. Sherry, do you have any other words for us?
I just would like to say that everyone here shows up both for themselves and for the people that they're sharing with. And if there's one thing that matters, it's showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else comes after you show up.
Love that.
So I really, really think everyone needs to just sort of sit up that little bit and appreciate themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you never know who wishes that they could get to where you're at, where you feel like you're way down here and somebody else just wishes that you could teach them to be there, right? Absolutely. So that leads really well into what I want to talk about tonight. And that's just some foundations. And I think it's never a bad thing to go back to the basics, especially starting out this last 90 days, which will absolutely kick off our first 90 days in 2021. So when you start something new, start a new habit, you're basically pouring into a foundation. That is if you don't quit. But we're going to assume that since you're here and you're listening and you're with us, you're not going anywhere right now. You are wanting to build a foundation that you're going to be able to have a wonderful business on top of, right? We want that foundation to be firm and solid. So, but the other thing is that even if we've been around here, if we are ancient pioneers, like some of us are, you know, glory, hallelujah, there are some of us on here, feel like we've been here forever. We think, well, maybe I laid the foundation back then, but maybe it wasn't the right one. Or maybe I wish I would have done this at the beginning. Or man, I used to do this all the time, but I kind of let myself slip. And now I need to go back to those foundational pieces. There was a time in my business that I did like an entire, like the IPA sheet that we have that's like old as dirt, that's in Grow. You guys know which one I'm talking about. It's got a Bible verse on the top, and it's got like add 3 new friends to, like, it's all of the 3 and like I filled out that sheet every day for a year and a half without fail. Didn't miss a single day. And that was dedication, right? And that was a great foundation. And if you were starting today, I would tell you that what you want to do, if you want to build your business, you want to build a firm foundation, you want to set in place good habits of the PDA just totally threw me off and I loved it. Thank you so much, Nicole, to your husband. I was actually going to say a good foundation of like, yeah, PDA. Anyway, that's good for Plexus too. Go forth and multiply must be Plexus's second mantra. Anyway, okay, totally off topic. Stacy was saying something about a squirrel. I only took one MetaBurn today, so I'm sorry. So if you are starting all over again, if you're sitting up today and you're like, man, I do need to get back to those basics. I need to set a good foundation. Is it too late? Or I'm just brand new. All of this is super overwhelming. What do I do? Well, I want to show you what it would look like to have further success. And I'm not talking like diamond in 2 weeks. I'm not talking like flash in the pan, anything. What I'm talking about is longevity. And that's what's so different, I feel, about this business. Now we're all on the PDA like train bad. Okay. All right. Focus. Okay. Like I'm seriously losing my brain tonight. So setting good habits takes intention. There are other companies where I don't ever remember, because I've done network marketing for the better part of 14 years, and I've been with Plexus now for 6, and I've been working my business for 5 in January, I think. I think that's how the dates figure out. But I never remember having a system or even being shown that that should happen, where you work daily and you expect your business to continue to grow over time and be stable. And so what we're telling you here, like I said, is not flash in the pan, but this is how you build residual income and you have something that you're going to be able to pass down to your children. Okay. And so if you have not gotten that belief yet, that's part of this. Okay. Belief is huge, not only in yourself, but there's sort of those 3 beliefs, the 3 beliefs: belief in yourself, belief in the product, and belief in the company. And if you don't have one of those pieces, you need to go and chase that somehow. You need to figure that out. So you need to talk to your upline. So if it's belief in yourself, you need to start growing personally. I knew that if I didn't have water in here, I was going to regret it. Belief personally in yourself. Belief in the products. You guys, you need to read testimonies to know that they work, right? And it's like Sheila Medina, right? She's like, somebody tells me that the product doesn't work. You know what I tell them? There must be something wrong with you. But she has a much cuter Southern accent and it totally works far better. And it's super funny, right? Like she's like, well, there's got to be something wrong with you. You should go see a doctor. So funny. Anyway, I'm not suggesting you do that, but it's that rock solid belief. You don't need to know everything about every product, but you need to see enough outside of your own brain to know that it works beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it's simply either user error, dosage issues, wrong product, not enough water. Like there's something that you can get to the bottom of. And when you stand in that belief and you are that firm in that belief, people will be that firm in your belief as well, or in their belief in the product, right? The other thing is belief in the company. And this is where not going to convention or the live events kind of starts lacking. And so we need to sort of band together and share our belief in the company. And that's actually fairly simple. Number one, have you guys ever watched any of the amazing videos that they're putting out on gut health, on like they did one on cooking oils tonight? They're really stepping up their game as far as giving broad value to everyone. Share those with all of your downline. Like they are giving us an amazing education, and the way that they're doing it just speaks volumes to belief in the company, right? And then of course, as our business grows, you guys want to be watching diamond documentaries and building that belief that yes, it could happen to you. And you don't need to be 23 years old and a size -2 and be a mom to 10,000 people. And do you know what I mean? Like it takes all sorts, right? So build your belief. But here's the thing. I would really encourage you guys to ask yourselves some questions tonight and tomorrow and get yourself really focused on what you want, right? Have you ever gone out on a date with your husband, or I don't know, I don't see anybody on here who's not, anyway, and they've said, what do you want? What do you want for dinner? What? I don't know. And they tell you give you a whole bunch of lists of places, and you're like, no, I don't want to go there. Carrie's like, I got like 2 choices. I live in Meadow Lake. I've been there, done that. Sherry's like, I don't even have that choice, but I got beef in my freezer. So that's what I got. But if you don't know what you want, you're not going to end up going where you want to go, right? You might know what you don't want, and that's equally as important to getting to where you want to go. But sometimes we need to brain dump that, right? Sometimes we need to write that out. I was struggling with something. Sherry's doing some coaching with me. Bless her. Y'all need to pray for her. And I came across this mental block, and I was like, so I stopped myself and I asked myself, well, what would happen if that actually came true? And I'm learning to walk myself through the process instead of just going, I'm adverse to that. nope, that's a fear, or yeah, nope, that's causing me some anxiety. And now I'm walking myself through these things, right? So what do you not want? What do you want from your business? What do you want from your life? What do you want from your flexibility that Sherry was talking about earlier? You need to treat this like a business. If Plexus is part of what you do want, or it can be part of that puzzle. And you know what? Totally bless you if it's not. Like, we're not holding like your nose to the fire here, people. But this is amazing. Like, Plexus is the deal. I don't know why more people aren't doing it. I mean, we're in huge momentum in Canada right now, and in the States as well. But this can be a great vehicle for what you want. It can be the thing of what you want too, right? So if this is what you want, you need to dig into it. And here's the first thing: you need to treat this like a business. Okay. So Sherry, I'm going to ask you, and you said payroll was one of the things you have to do. You have employees. If you didn't do payroll for like a month and a half because you were just being flexible, would that work well with your business?
No,
No.
there's some serious consequences if you don't do payroll.
Absolutely. There's some other things too that can be almost like they creep up on you in Plexus. So I'm going to give you an example. You are, okay, for tonight, for the next 5 minutes, you are at least a senior gold. I'm not downgrading anybody. So if anybody's above a senior gold, you can stay where you are. But if you are not a senior gold yet, poof, you are a senior gold. You are making, I don't know, somebody give me a figure. I can't remember what it is right now. You're making what a senior gold makes every month. Can somebody look that up for me? Does anyone know? Sherry, do you know? Well, I can look it up, but I should probably talk.
Senior gold should be around 1,800.
Yeah, okay. So when you started, your goal was so you didn't have to pay for your product, right? That's most of our goals. Keep our husbands happy, be able to buy all the vitamins and be balanced and not have it impact the checkbook, and be able to pay for a birthday or Christmas or whatever, right? And so we're sitting at this $1,800 and we're like, oh, that's kind of comfortable. That's kind of nice. And look at that. You know what? I like took 2 weeks off, and yeah, maybe the points dipped a little bit, but I'm still making $1,500. Like, that's not too shabby. I didn't have to go into work. I didn't have to, like, it's all good, right? Like, Plexus is good all the time, right? Like, even when it's bad, it's still really good, right? Residual income is a thing. But here's the thing: if you stop reaching out to people, if you stop supporting your people, if you stop caring about people and you stop pouring into your relationships, guess what happens to your paycheck? It's directly proportional. Bad things happen if you don't continue to reach out to people. Same thing as with payroll. It's just not quite as immediate. All of a sudden, the balloon gets the air let out of it, or it's like the air mattress you've been sleeping on that you didn't notice at the beginning of the night. It's got a slow leak, and by the morning, you're on the floor. It kind of can be like that if you don't tend to things. So you need to treat your business as a business and work it that way. So I am actually putting a challenge out. And if you are not currently on a team that is doing an IPA challenge, or an IPA, I shouldn't say challenge, an IPA accountability chat, I am inviting you to one. And can I get a volunteer to write down names? Carrie, do you have a pen? Carrie Clausen, do you have a pen? Yeah, okay. In the chat, if you want to be part of an IPA accountability chat, say me. Make sure that your name makes sense. So what this is basically going to mean is you're going to have to show up every day and say, done. Okay? We will share some IPA. And IPA is impact producing activity. It's basically, you said that you're going to work, you've done the work, you've reached out to the people, you've planned your day, you've shown up for who you want to be in the next 90 days, 6 months, a year. We are going to do that together. Now, we may do them, like I'm saying to Sherry today, we might do them in like 3 to 5 day chunks and then wipe everybody out and start all over again, because last month, I think I could do everything for about 3 days, and then everything just sort of hit the fan. So don't feel like you have to commit to a huge length of time. But what I'm saying is 5 days of IPA a week is good. So maybe to you, that's reaching out to 2 people every day. That's friending 1 new person on Facebook. It's following the IPA sheet that's in Grow. It's any of those things. But it is focused work and accountability. Okay. So that is the foundation for your business, is teaching yourself good habits. Doing the impact producing activity when you don't feel like it, right? When it's like 9:57 and you're like, I need to go to bed because the dog is getting up at 20 after 5. And I need to do 2 more reach outs. Well, for Pete's sake, I better get those stupid reach outs done because it has to be done today, right? Do not put it off till tomorrow. No good habit was formed by putting it off to tomorrow. What if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that thing that you wanted, when Sherry was talking about flexibility, that thing that maybe you didn't share in the comments, but you thought of, right? Maybe it was financial flexibility. Maybe it was, for me, travel, or being able to bless other people financially or with our time or whatever. What if you knew that thing really only depended on the foundation I'm talking about, IPA, showing up? What if you knew that this and this balance each other out? Not tomorrow. It's not magic, guys. It's not magic beans and it's not fairy water. But your flexibility in life depends on your effort. Okay. And guys, I'm not asking you to go work in a coal mine every day. I'm asking you to show up and love people well. Hola, hello. When we have our mindset like put in the right place, this business gets super simple. Is it easy? No. Is it without strain on the heart? No. Because when you invest in people, sometimes you get dirty, right? Working with people in their lives is messy, but it's a privilege. It is a privilege to walk with people. So it is harder to go slow than it is to go fast. So if you're like, I'm gonna reach out to 1 person every week, my goodness, you might be silver by 2022. It's scary, and that's okay. You know what? Keeping yourself out of the refrigerator after 9 o'clock is scary to some people. Getting set up with a good exercise plan is scary to some people. But guys, nothing worth having comes without some push and pull. So what if it's just sort of like, we talk to people about drinking their water, right? And nothing is more frustrating as an ambassador, in my job. It's like water is everything. It's like, you're telling me that you have gained weight, or you feel bloated, or all of these things, and we're looking at every single thing, right? And then I find out you're drinking like 3 cups of water a day. And I just think, thank you, Carrie. Thanks for rubbing it in too, because like everything, all the receptacles are empty at my house. I don't get it. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you all. Thank you. I'm so glad you're so well hydrated. But sometimes, don't you just want to bash your head against a brick wall and go, just drink water? Like, you're doing all the right things. You're even remembering to take your supplements, which is some people's like massive thing that they can't get over, right? But if you just drink your water, just drink the water. I can't do it for you. Just drink the water, right? And so now I'm coming to you with the business water, you guys. I'm coming to you with the business H2O. You want to build a wide business, right? Do you know what I mean when I'm saying that wide? I mean like personally sponsored, not just like I'm going to sponsor 3 people and then they're going to do 3 and they're going to three, even though that's beautiful. But you actually can't get to diamond that way. You need to go this way. You need to be wider. You need to keep on sponsoring more and more people and bringing them in and then helping them do the 3 and the 3 and the 3 and the 3. Business H2O. IPA every day. No excuses. I want this for each one of you. And like I said, it's not flash in the pan. I don't want that. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of a payoff. It's sort of an ego pad, right? You have 1 month where you sponsor a ton of people, or it's super exciting. Like you sponsored a silver, right? How many people like promote out a silver and you're like, I can do this. That's awesome. Like good for me, right? And you can let that ride for a couple months. If you're not careful, no, do it again. Do it again. There's more people out there. Don't worry. But then we get this fear. Oh my gosh, I did it once. If I do it again and I fail, then the last thing I've done is I've failed. I haven't succeeded. Well, that doesn't make any sense because you can't succeed unless you actually put yourself out there to try. So let your business drink water in the month of October. Water it. Do your IPA every stinking day. I typically take Sundays off, you guys. But here's the thing. I remember talking once about I'm gonna go slightly theological here because this tends to be where my illustrations go. But if you're not familiar, oftentimes people within the church who tithe or give a portion of their income, they talk about 10% of their income. And the question to all of those people who like to sit up straight in the pews is, well, is that 10% of my net or is it 10% of my gross? Right? And it's always the question. And so I was in a group one day and they're like, okay, that's a fair question. Here's the question for you. Do you want a net blessing or do you want a gross blessing? Which one do you want? Right? Do you want to give them the minimum? Like, okay, well, actually, Lord, I've got, we pay school fees and it's to a Christian school. And that counts. We homeschool. So like, I'm giving lots of money to my kids right now for Jesus. Right? I shouldn't need to do the whole 10% thing. Right? Or you see an accountant like we did once who's like, you really are going to give that much money to a church? I'm okay with it. Just fill in the blank, dude. In this season for me, right? I said, you guys need to make some choices. What's important to you? Where do you want to be in 90 days? Do you want the net blessing or do you want the gross blessing? So yeah, I'm going to take some time with my family. My family is so important to me. But because I know I tend to fall into inconsistency really fast, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to let myself have that Sunday without doing 3 reach outs. I still pee on Sundays, y'all. I do my best work in the smallest office in the house. I can lock that door. They're not coming in. Join me in watering your business in the month of October. And when you're talking to people, talk to them about the buddy bonus. That just sounds darn cool. Like, I don't even care. Somebody was like, hey, you bought a pair of shoes. Do you want a buddy bonus? I'd be like, heck yeah, what's a buddy bonus? I'm in before I even know what it is. Because it sounds fun, right? You guys who aren't 7s might need to figure out a different way to put that in somehow and tell me how it works, just because I don't understand anything that isn't like fun and party and happy. I'm trying to go through all these things and I'm trying to, because like, I'm going to stay on target here. But when I said you guys need to figure out what you want, That's basically like me going back again on the old record. We're just going to keep going around. Where's your why in October? Because if you want a strong end of 2020 and a strong beginning of 2021, if you don't want to be here, like exactly where you are in October of 2021, I'm going to tell you right now, your why needs to have emotional connection so that you will make those tough decisions to make the changes that you need to water your business. And so I'm asking if you guys will stand with me and do this, because I know that I have let myself slack for a little bit too long. September just kind of, I don't even know what happened there. And I'm kind of done with it. Like I'm kind of over it. I want a new foundation, right? I want to start again. I'm ripping out the old one, taking the plans that I had at the beginning when things were super good, and we're going to build it all over again, right? And I love that we have the opportunity to restart. Every day we can restart with our business. If you fall off the wagon on the IPA chat, don't stay off the wagon. Don't roll down the hill. I've told the story about the friend of mine that I have that is incredible at finding these amazing diets and will try to cook things that are phenomenal. And she goes plant-based and all this stuff. When she falls off the wagon, she epically falls off the wagon. She doesn't just fall off the wagon a little bit. She like falls off the wagon and rolls down the hill a little bit and throws herself down into a ravine. And like, then the cart up there is blown up. Like she's done. It's like a bag of potato chips and she's gone, right? Guys, you have one day where you miss it. It's okay, but hold yourself accountable to it. So what am I going to do different tomorrow? How am I going to change to do this tomorrow? Okay, so we're going to start that chat. We're going to start it for tomorrow morning. It's going to be, I was going to say August. Wow. Hello. October IPA accountability, right? And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. If you miss 2 days in a row, purposefully, like if you're saying I'm taking Saturday and Sunday off, that's cool. That's your deal, right? I'm asking for 5 days, right? If you miss 2 days consecutively, I'm going to get you to pull yourself out and you're going to shoot me a message and you'll be like, girl, I messed up. I messed up. I didn't do my IPA. I'll be like, hey, totally cool. When I restart again in 5 days, you want it back in? Absolutely. Cool. Let's do it. Okay. Who's up for watering the IPA? Who is up for, like, I'm thinking of this, like, you know, the Orbeez, the little beads where they're like all super hard and then you add water and they all puff up and they're those gel things. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Or you know, those things you get for your kids where they come in like a capsule, or they're a tiny little alligator and you put it in water and all of a sudden it grows like this. Yeah, grow. There's a reason why it's here. Let's water it, guys. Let's water it and see what happens. All right. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you, Sherry, for your wisdom. We always appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys in that IPA chat. Guys, we are linking arms. I am the same as all of you. I just have had more years to mess it up. And just so you know, you can mess up and still end up being an emerald, almost sapphire. And it's okay. We're all here to learn from each other. So appreciate you all. Love you lots. Have a great night. And the recording will likely be up in Grow by tomorrow morning. Take care, guys.